Safety valve problems in the workshop. Some safety valves pop when blowing off and some do not. Instead, they just make an annoying noise. Here is a quick look inside some of the valves and a potential solution to the problem on one of the safety valves. Here are a collection of popular safety valves, except the one on the far left, which is a scratch-built safety valve, so you can disregard that. I always buy commercial safety valves, and generally speaking, the ones I buy are Jubilee Fittings safety valves in various sizes. Here are just a few of the commercial safety valves out there. From Jubilee Fittings, Cleveland Steam and Stuart Models. Please ignore the one on the right. I will refer to that one as unknown make. These are small safety valves and the thread on the bottom of them is 5/16 by 26 threads per inch. The Jubilee Fittings safety valve is designed for a Rob Roy miniature steam locomotive. Jubilee Fittings generally use this method of locking the safety valve adjuster in place. This is the Cleveland Steam safety valve, and there's no way of locking the adjuster in place on this one, as indeed there didn't used to be on Stuart's safety valves. But on the more recent versions they use a grub screw to fix the adjustment in place, although the end part still screws off. This is the unknown make safety valves, and the slots in the top are far too fine, and I really don't have a suitable tool to adjust this. I've tried one or two pieces of steel plate, but it didn't work very well. The top part is stuck fast. That's why I'm not going to bother with it. I would never dream of making my own safety valve. I always buy commercial items, including the Stuart safety valves for Stuart boilers, because it's traditional. The main air line from my compressor is really unsuitable for the job. It's a piece of vacuum hose from an automotive supplier. I use this because it's just very convenient. It's flexible and easy to attach to most of the steam fittings that I use it with. For this job though, the pressure is going to be higher than normal, so I need to make a fitting, which starts off as a piece of brass hexagon bar. I've marked the positions on the brass bar using a felt tip pen where I'm going to machine it. I'm in the smaller of my two workshops and I'm using a small Warco M180 lathe to machine this piece of brass. It wobbles about a bit when I'm using it. You notice it more in the video. That's because it's sat on foam pads, just like my Myford ML7. And guess what? Both the ML7 and the M180 are extremely accurate. You don't need to level them because there's no stress on the bed. It just sits there comfortably on the foam pads. What I'm doing is centre drilling and threading the hole in the end of the piece of brass hexagon. I withdrew the tap under power, but it's not worth the effort. It's quicker to just rotate the chuck. Once I'd threaded the hole 5/16 by 26 threads per inch, I drilled all the way through the part using a 5/32 of an inch diameter drill. I've turned the part around in the chuck and machined the other end. Here I'm rounding the end of it so it doesn't damage the silicone rubber tubing, and I'm putting a couple of grooves into it. This is not to hold the tubing in place, it's to allow me to remove it easily. Pulling a piece of silicone rubber tubing from a parallel fitting like this without the grooves is difficult. The next part of the job is to take the blue silicone rubber tubing, which isn't as good as the black stuff by the way, and I really don't know why that is. The black silicone rubber tubing seems to hold more pressure without ballooning. With the piece of silicone rubber tubing secured to the brass fitting, using a pair of spring clips, I've fitted the first safety valve. This is a Jubilee Fittings pop-type safety valve, and although occasionally it does do impressions of flatulence, it works okay and blows off and shuts quickly. And it's quite unlike the next valve I'm going to look at. This is a standard Stuart Model safety valve, nicely made and traditionally fitted to Stuart boilers. The only problem I have with it is it makes this horrible noise when it's blowing off. It really drives me nuts. And so does this one. It's a ball type safety valve, which makes a sound which is somewhere between flatulence and a raspberry. I'd like to mention that Cleveland Steam also makes small safety valves with a different internal construction, and they blow off quickly and silently. This is one of their ball type safety valves. Before I go any further, I'd like to show you this tool on the bench. This is a pair of circlip pliers. Unfortunately, it's a bit too big for this valve. I do have another pair somewhere, but I don't know where they are. Here are the instructions that come with the Jubilee fittings safety valve, explaining the adjustment method. The pair of circlip pliers fits into the holes in the top of the valve. You undo the outer ring first and then the inner part, which then adjusts the spring pressure. Here are the 3 safety valves dismantled. I still prefer the Jubilee fittings safety valve. Once again, I've no financial arrangement with them, and this is not a sponsorship deal. But I've always liked the way that there's a shaft up the centre of the valve that allows you to lift it to make sure the ball isn't stuck to the seat before you steam the engine. And while on the subject of ball valves on seats, the seat arrangement of the Jubilee fittings safety valve is different to the other 2, and it doesn't sound like this. The main part of this Stewart safety valve is locked in position with a grub screw, but the end part is loose and can be turned easily, so I can adjust it as I go like this, but it makes no difference. It still sings when it blows off. In this clip I'm trying a different size stainless steel ball in the Stewart valve, but there is very little difference. If I slow the clip down, you can hear the ball bouncing on the seat. It sounds a bit like a foghorn, and the sound only stops when I tighten the top part of the valve to prevent it blowing off. Back now to the first valve, which is a Jubilee fittings valve. When I mess about with this, and again I've tried a different size ball inside it, it doesn't help, it makes it worse than it is. I think they've got the design right for this one. And as I mentioned previously, I do like the button on the top. It proves to be very useful in practice. I tried a variety of different balls, but not different springs in the Stewart safety valve. I really think though, the size of your balls is important, and that's not really meant to be a double entendre. This after all is resonance, either by the ball vibrating and maybe steam and or air vibrating the actual tube, but I think it's a ball problem. All I had to do with the Cleveland steam safety valve was fit a smaller ball in it, and it stopped making a noise and it blows off perfectly. The only time it makes a strange noise is when I put my finger over the end and interfere with the airflow. I'm really happy with the performance of this valve, it's good. You can hear the difference as I compare it with the earlier clip from the video. I really am quite happy with this, and I think I'll be buying some of these to fit to steam plants because they look a little bit bigger than the Jubilee fittings ones. In my opinion, the only thing lacking from this safety valve is the facility to be able to lock the adjuster in place. And that's it. Stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.